Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Darts episode 52. We're going to be talking about darts for this past week and some upcoming items in the darting community, at least places where you could watch some fun and exciting darts. Take a minute here and allow some wonderful fans to join us. I'm going to have a sip of coffee here in my wonderful Coffee and Darts mug. And as I do that, I really quickly want to thank my sponsors. Of course, Magicwear for these incredible jerseys. New jersey is on the way. This will be up on the website later today, so you can start ordering, get a pre-order in, and this is what that looks like. So that is the winter jersey that will be available today on the website. But thank you to Magicwear, and I'm going to be giving away a Magicwear gift certificate later in the show, so stay tuned for that. And I also want to thank Shot Darts very much for just being such a great companion here with Atomic Darts as well as Coffee and Darts. They do sponsor the show here. They don't sponsor Atomic Darts, but they've been very generous over the years to send me some stuff to review, and that has been a great relationship. So thank you so much to Shot Darts for doing that and for sponsoring the show here. We are in talks with another sponsor, and I don't mind bringing up their name. It's actually Condor Flights and Shafts. I'm a huge lover of that particular product, or at least have truly fallen in love with the product in recent times. And I will tell you, yesterday in league, I almost won 8-0, but I just went off the boil. I just stunk it up in that eighth game, and 7-1 was my first match score for league that started this week. And so I'm going to attribute some of that to, one, that Flight and Shaft by Condor, and two, the incredible barrel that I have in the B52, which the box is coming together. And later this week, I'll show you guys a picture of that. If you're a Patreon over at Patreon, or patron over at patreon.com/Atomic Darts, you'll get to see some images of that stuff up front. And those guys might end up with a set of the B52 Atomic Darts just for being patrons. So you're welcome to do that. Patreon.com/Atomic Darts. Head on over there. Also, just want to thank everyone for watching the show and being a part of the show. Good morning, Will. Good morning, Luke. Thank you guys for watching. So we're going to be talking about darts. This is Tuesday morning, so we're going to try and turn this into a little bit more of a newsworthy show, or a news type of show for darts here in America. So let's get started with that, and we're going to dive in. We're going to talk some PDC. Of course, you got to talk about that. We've got stuff to talk about from the guys' side. We got stuff to talk about from the ladies' side. We're going to talk about USA Darts Productions, some of the stuff that they've had going on this past week and what's up and coming, as well as over at Championship Darts Circuit. There is another channel out there. I just want to bring that up real quickly. Bearded Dart Guy. He and I we didn't connect completely as far as matches that he has up and coming and past matches, some of the stuff that won. I can't watch everything that comes out because there's a lot of stuff these days, so I don't always know who won what and who played who and what's up and coming. So hopefully next week I'll have his information and I can start throwing that in there. If you guys know of up and coming tournaments and you want to DM me throughout the week or just touch base with me, I will do my best to add a segment where we talk about up and coming tournaments around the nation, the world. Let's just take it global, right? Afternoon, Niels. Question about my thoughts on the World Cup of Darts draw. Luke, I'm going to hold on to that just a bit. If you guys saw my post, because I posted about it, I have England winning. I think there was another team too that I picked, but I just think they're the strongest team showing right now for that. So that's my pick coming out. Of course, the Scots did not. Well, I don't want to say that they didn't produce a great team, because they do have a great team coming, but it's not who I would have thought, and I would have picked them to win coming in this year. But Peter Wright is not playing. And neither's Anderson. So, I think that they've got the biggest chance, but I think there's some younger teams, some teams that we are not used to that I think are gonna go further in the tournament than we've seen, and there could be some nice upsets. Afternoon, James. What's going on, Scott? Good morning. All right, guys, let's dive into some of the news here. We're going to jump right into the PDC, and we are going to talk about – oh, wait, before I do that, I got to talk about this. I said I would do this. There was a match that happened this weekend that most of you missed. You need to go back and watch it. It was the first of its kind as far as I know of, and it was an exciting match all throughout. It was the first steel tip versus soft tip match that I've seen. I'm sure there have been others, but this was literally a gentleman playing on a steel tip board, two gentlemen playing on a soft tip board. And I'm going to share this with you real quick because I want you guys to see who this comes from. This comes from Bullseyes and Brewskis. All right, so these guys put on what they called a steel tip versus soft tip little tournament here. You can see this right down in here. It was with Michael Hedman, who is a watcher of the show, a fan of the show. Thank you, Michael, for being a fan. And this was Roy, who runs Bullseyes and Brewskis, and Roy's going to be on the show. Could be later this week. It could be sometime next week. But this is his channel. Go check it out, Bullseyes and Brewskis. He plays darts and has some beers and has great conversations. It's a no-holds-barred hangout in his basement garage, something like that. It's a lot of fun to watch. But they put on this steel tip versus soft tip situation. Basically, Michael Hedman was throwing at his house in New York, throwing at his steel tip, and Roy was pushing the buttons on the soft tip because they were allowing the soft tip, which is the grand board, to count everything. It was really actually a fun little tournament. They played some 501. They played some cricket. They played some 501. Steel tip rules were double outs. They did a couple of different fun games and just had some fun with it. It was actually a pretty fun thing to sit back and watch. I was at a park playing with my kids watching that. And of course, Dylan was really interested in it. So guys, great job doing that. I hope I can get next and be on there with you, Roy. That was actually a lot of fun to watch. So there is a match that you guys should go check out. Again, Bullseyes and Brewskis. All right, let's dive into the PDC and Jose de Sosa and his win this past weekend. If you didn't see that, Jose de Sousa produced the performance of his career this past weekend. Again, he hasn't been playing long. He's only been playing in the PDC for a little over a year now. He claimed his first European Tour title with a win 8-4 over Michael van Gerwen. That's correct, over MVG, and winning the European Darts Grand Prix title. The fast emerging star from Portugal, who's also known as the Special One, is going to be doing some great things here. It's really surprising how well he has done in such a short amount of time. Remember, he joined the circuit full-time in 2019, so he's got about a year into it. Some interesting stats from that day. I just wanted to go over this with you guys. There's a stat sheet that you can find over on pdc.tv. And I like to check out the stats. I watch a lot of the stuff. Dylan and I all Sunday, most of Sunday anyway, we were playing darts here in the garage and watching the tournaments going back and forth between the guys and the girls. Caitlin was, of course, joining us whenever the girls were on. But an interesting stat that I came across, I thought this was really, really interesting. Outside of the fact that Jose de Sosa, beat Gerwin Price coming into this, in that match, the interesting thing that I thought was Gerwin's average was actually higher than Jose's. So he had a 92.87 over an 88.94. It was really a checkout situation for Gerwin. Gerwin's checkout was 20%. We had Jose de Sosa's checkout was at 40%, which is really what he needed to do. I mean, it was double that of Gerwin's, and that's why he won that, even though his average was lower. Gerwin threw more 180s, threw more 140s. Or I guess it was about the same on that. But all in all, it's the doubles that get you to the next round. And then interestingly enough, when I looked at the Rob Cross, I'm a big Rob Cross fan. I'm a fan of all these guys. Really, there's certain aspects of each one that I enjoy more than others. But Rob Cross, this was round 3. He was playing Martin Kleemaker. And going into the stats, Kleemaker had a 91.55 average over that match, which is a nice average. And of course, his checkouts were good. They weren't great. They were at a 33.33%. But you go to Rob Cross, and he was at a 101.38 average. His checkouts were at 85.71%. That's an incredible checkout rate. But then you go to Rob Cross's next match. This is against the Gentle Giant, Mensur Suljovic, and things just went crazy weird. The time frame between the one match to the next match wasn't much more than an hour or so. Maybe a little bit more than that, but it wasn't a huge amount. And to see Rob Cross dropped to an average of 81.37, and his checkout percentage couldn't get any worse because it was 0. He never got to the opportunity to a checkout. Mensur was at 96.97, so a reasonably, higher average. But when you drop from a 101 to an 81, that's tough. And then never getting a dart at a double, that's gonna seal your day for sure. And then just to give stats over at the for the final with Jose de Sosa, who again won over MVG. Jose de Sosa was 105.79 was his average during that match. 7 180s thrown, 6 140s compared to MVG, who was at a 92.43. Again, way off his typical mark, which is closer to the 100. He only threw 1 1080. And he did have 6 140s, which is the same, but just all in all, not great when it came to the average. Interestingly enough, you get a little bit of a change here on the doubles, and it really just had to do with Jose having a higher scoring. So he got to doubles quicker than MVG. His checkout percentage was 61.54, which is a great percentage, but he got more opportunities to get there. And then, of course, MVG, he was at 80% for his checkouts. He just wasn't getting to the checkouts before Jose de Sosa. So some little stats there for you guys. But again, Jose de Sosa claiming his first European TV title there at the European Darts Grand Prix. And just to give a quick check here on these. Oh, we got Bob Hamilton throwing up some stuff in where you can watch some PDC, some hellos. Niels, you're funny, man. All right, let's jump over to the ladies on the PDC side. This was an exciting weekend for the ladies. This was kind of an inaugural tournament for the PDC, for just an all-ladies PDC event. It was a lot of fun. I personally wish they had done this separate from having a guys tournament and the girls tournament. The only nice thing is it was just kind of, you could flip back and forth between the two throughout the day. So it was, close to 12 hours of just darts. I don't think it was that long, but it felt like it. There was a lot of darts going on during the day, this weekend, at least, for both days. I just wish that the ladies had gotten they should have done a stage situation, but they got something. They got to play. It wasn't as big as I was kind of hoping, but they were there. They were playing, and they were playing for the opportunity to go to the Alley Pally and play in the World Darts Championship. And we basically got 2 ladies that'll be there. I still, again, think they should have taken 4, the top 4. But the way this worked out is they were playing, and they were basically winning monies for the further they went in, just like they do for the guys. Nothing different in that respect. And then the top 2 prize winning or that would win the anyway, the top 2 get to go to William Hill. And we had a twist in this one. Of course, there's always got to be a twist. But the 2 ladies going are Lisa Ashton, who's actually a tour card holder. She actually holds a PDC tour card currently. She won 2 of the 4 events this past weekend. And then Dida Hedman, she is also going. She and Chirac tied on the money side of things, but Hedman had more legs won, and that's why she got it. So if anybody was wondering why Fallon didn't get that second opportunity to go, they basically tied from a money standpoint, It was just that Dida did better in the tournament going further on a particular day over Fallon, and that's really what ended it. Fallon did get a win. She won the 4th event of the weekend. And here's an interesting fact, if you didn't know this about Dida Hedman. 2 interesting facts. One, well, you never want to talk about the age of a woman. She certainly is much younger than she is. I'll just put it that way. She's been playing darts for as long as I have been alive. Literally, she started playing professional darts when I was born. So I'm going to leave that there and leave that alone because I know that age. But outside of that, did you guys know she was the first woman to beat a male? So, bringing in the sexes here, she was the first woman to actually beat a male in a tournament style situation on a stage. A lot of people think that that's why Fallon got this fame, is that she beat a guy. It wasn't that she beat a guy. It was the fact that she where she did it. It was the World Championships. It was at William Hill. For as long as the women have been going to that particular tournament, there hadn't been a lady to beat a man until last year, which of course she went into the 3rd round. So she went a little bit deeper than just one win. But Dida was actually the first female to beat a male, if we've got to do the sexist type thing, which I don't think the sport should ever do. And so anyway, just a bit of history there. But those are the 2 ladies that will be representing the ladies over at William Hill for the World Darts Championship there at the Alley Pally. Again, that's Lisa Ashton and Dida Hedman, who I'm a huge fan of both of them. I think Dida's an awesome person. I am truly excited that she is one of them that is getting that. I think she is well-deserved for her many accolades as a darts professional. And if you've never watched her play, it's like watching the female MVG in a way. She has the propensity to, like I say, or I like to say, is step on your throat. And when she sees you're down, she'll just crush. It's so much fun to watch her. And she has an interesting throw. It's quite interesting throw. It's changed over the years, but it is quite interesting. And she's a great player to watch. So I'm super excited about that. So those are the 2 ladies, again, heading over in a couple months for that. And that's Lisa Ashton and Dida Hedman. All right, guys, we are going to get into a little bit more here, but I want to check out comments. So there's a comment here in regards to the inconsistency of the PDC on YouTube. This is correct, and there's a couple reasons for it. I can answer that here real quick. I had to get a little coffee. It's early for me. By the way, if you're enjoying this, please hit the like and the heart, smash all that stuff. And if you're not following the channel over on YouTube, please do. In regards to, so this is DMAC 909 mentioned something in regards to the PDC and their inconsistency. Part of it has to do with their TV deal with Sky Sports and some of the other networks that they work with as to whether or not they're allowed to put them out or when they're allowed to put out specific tournament results. That's part of the issue when it comes to the PDC, and it really has to do with TV, who they've got things being shown through, and a lot of it is Sky Sports, but it depends on the contract, and it depends on the contract of the particular tournament. It could be a state thing, a country type thing. It also could just have to do with the local channels there or the venue in itself. Each venue has a different kind of contract going through, and so that determines part of them being able to play it, and part of it is they want you to pay to be a PDC.TV subscriber so that you can see these events. One thing I've always thought that the PDC should do is they really should backlog all this stuff, not just do it on YouTube, but if you're a paying subscriber, they should have these tournaments available for you to watch over there. The NFL does something like that. What's called the NFL Game Pass. By the way, the Chiefs won yesterday. They shouldn't have lost to the Raiders the week before, but that's okay. We won yesterday. So I'm happy about that. But what the NFL does is they have this thing called Game Pass where you pay for it and you can watch any game you want after the game. And I think the PDC should go to that in the sense that those that are paying for their service should have the ability. So like some of these tournaments start at 2 a.m. my time. I just went to bed typically. So it would be nice if they would allow, because there's certain matches I would love to be able to watch, and I have to wait a week to go back and watch them. I'm like, I already watched the tournament. I know who won. I almost don't care at that point because there's another tournament on. I'll catch it some other time. So anyway, that's the reasoning for that. Checking some things. All right, let's get into a little bit more. Let's talk about what's going on with USA Darts Live. So they've got matches that they're posting over on Facebook and YouTube. And you can also check out USA Darts Production or USA Darts Live, I believe is the website. They actually have a backlog when you guys talk about wanting to watch matches. They backlog their matches there so that you can watch them. They're also on their YouTube channel. So you can go back and see past CDC matches and past Darts Live matches where something they may have produced that they've been doing this year. Let's talk a little bit about that. This past week, we had Thursday the 15th, we had Jacob Womack winning there 11-3 over Paul Schneiderman. And then on Saturday the 17th, in soft tip, we had Andy Dang over Ed Chambers. And we're going to get back to Ed Chambers here in a second because thank you, Will. You shot something to me in regards to a topic that I talk about a lot. And we're going to talk a touch on that here in just a minute. And then I'm going to tell you guys that I'm reaching out to this particular company to see what we can do. I think we may have something here. I'm excited about it. And don't forget to hang in there because I will be giving you guys a opportunity to win a gift certificate to Magicwear here in just a bit. But back to this. So we're going to get back to the Ed Chambers and Andy Dang. Again, that was soft tip. And then on Sunday, the 18th, Evan Sudman, 3-0 over Jason Farnan. And then what we have coming up, or what was yesterday, this was coming up, but it was played yesterday. We had Laobi versus Campbell, and Campbell won that. That was last night. Go check that match out. It was a fantastic match. And that is, you can catch that over at USA Darts Live. You can see that on their YouTube channel. Or on the Facebook page, go catch that. That was a great match. That was last night. And then this upcoming Thursday, there, Steve Warnock and Jim Fitzsimmons will be playing. And again, that's USA Darts Live. And then in regards to the championships darts circuit, we have Donnie Joe over Trevor Bubbitts. And that was this past week, and Adam Stellar over Steve Warnock. Again, that was this past week and upcoming this week. So again, keep an eye out on that. And that's going to be on Facebook. They typically post all their stuff on Facebook, Championships Dart Circuit. And I believe USA Darts Live will have comments on it as well. But you have Gary French versus Alex Reyes. That should be a good match. And Adam Stella versus Sean Burt. So those are upcoming events for this weekend. Jumping back over really quickly to the PDC, just to let you guys know, upcoming we have International Darts Open. That's on the 23rd, so that's in a couple of days. European Championship is October 29th, and then we get into the Bet Victor World Cup of Darts November 6th. And I believe when we're done here, you can head over to pdc.tv, and there's some home tour darts going on today. I believe that is correct. All right, so there's a little update on some of the upcoming darts that are happening here. So we're getting into fantasy football. Sorry, guys. I had Tannehill, so I did pretty good there, Lucas. But yes, Mahomes did not. Well, he threw two to Travis Kelce. So, I mean, I got Kelce, so I'm good with that. But I lost all three of mine by like a point this week on fantasy. I was a little hurt there. I had some great scores, but I went up against some people that just had some. It was crazy. It's a crazy week in football. We could go there, but this is a dart show. It's not a football show. even though I could sit there and certainly talk a ton about it. All right, let's talk about this interesting feat, fact, whatever we want to call it. Feat is probably a good thing to go, but in regards to Ed Chambers, I want to share this with you guys here real quick. And let me just pull this up. You guys can see the bullseyes and brewskis again. Again, check these guys out. It's a lot of fun. But I want to show you, this is from Ed Chambers. This is from his Facebook page. And Will shot this over to me. Thank you, Will. Get that out of there. This right here. It basically, this is Ed. Leave it over here. I'm moving stuff around. Sorry. Ed got a shoe deal or a hookup by this company, No Bull. They're actually a fitness equipment company, and they do a shoe. That's kind of their main thing, is they've got a special lifting shoe and fitness shoe. They've actually got quite a few of them, a few hundred styles. Actually, a lot going on there, and I'm not sure how Ed is connected with them or whatever, but he's got a shoe. He got a shoe deal. So Ed got the shoe deal. And I am reaching out to No Bull. I'm going to buy a pair. I'm trying to talk them into the idea of being the shoe company for darts players. Now, I know it's a little outside of their particular realm that they're doing now, but as much as I've talked about the need for a shoe deal to happen, Ed Chambers has made that happen. And I'm not sure where that connection comes from. Ed, if you're watching this, let me know. I'd love to know. But reaching out to these guys, there's no phone number for them, so it's really a matter of just trying to email and get in touch with someone over there that I can, chat with about, I'm going to buy a pair of the shoes and try them. And then I really want to talk to them about trying to produce something that's more darts related, or at least have a shoe that's kind of around that. But they do have quite a few shoes. They're a little pricey. They're about $100 a pair, but they're designed for lifting weights or doing cross country type stuff or whatever, any of those, sports, kettlebells and all that other stuff. So interestingly enough, there is a shoe manufacturer out there that has nothing to do around darts or sports in the way that you would think, like a Nike or someone like that, who parses out and goes and finds sports and then creates shoes around it. There is a company there that is at least hooking up a darts player with a pair of shoes. So it's happening, guys. It's going to happen. There's going to be a shoe manufacturer that's going to grab hold of this. It's my goal in life, I guess, to make this happen. So we're going to have this happen here with the No Bull. So actually really cool shoes, by the way. Cross training. Thanks, Lucas. I couldn't think of the word. I love it. But actually really cool looking shoes. So if you're looking for a pair of shoes and you want to drop $100 on a pair to help you play better at darts, I don't know. When you, in the scheme of things, if they help me play better, it's worth the $100, right? If I can hit one extra 180 per match because of my shoes, I'll spend the money. You know what I'm saying? Got to be snazzier than Air Jordans. They've got some high tops. So if you want to be that guy that's rocking the high tops, maybe make that work. I know the PDC and a number of the different leagues out there and tournaments have specifics on the shoes, but it seems like they've been way relaxed. I'm seeing a lot more tennis shoes at the Aki in the last couple of years, especially this year, than in past. But there are regulations on your shoes. The one thing I've never understood is why someone doesn't wear a baseball cap or a hat of some sort, but my guess is there's a regulation on that. And that's why Peter Wright just does his hair, which, by the way, interesting fact, in regards to Peter Wright, did you guys know that he literally has 2 huge suitcases? And I'm talking the large, big ones that are just hair care products that they take with them whenever they go to one of these larger tournaments, or if they're going to be someplace for a while. And then in the fact of going someplace like the Worlds or somewhere where it's a longer format tournament, they will take 3 to 4 suitcases of hair care products alone. along with everything else. You got his outfits as well. So that is like, that's the entourage there has got to be incredible, but it's just them. But I always just find that interesting. Like I see guys that are like, oh, I just got my bag. And then there's Peter Wright and all this stuff. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Any new sets of darts that you can recommend to buy? I'm getting ready to review these. If you're new to darts, one of the interesting things about darts is that you're going to find there's this tungsten weighting situation. There's 80% tungsten, there's 90% tungsten, there's 95% tungsten, and then there's things that are 97, 98, and there's a barrel out there that's 99% tungsten. I don't think you could ever have 100% tungsten because I don't think they can get it that pure, but I guess if you in the refiner's fire, it's possible. But to mention when I'm getting ready to review these, I got one of all three styles of the orb. This is by Target. So I got one of all three because I didn't want to review just one of them because they're different. So this is a good dart. It's an 80% tungsten, I would say, to get into. And I'm going to say point blank, the Shot Zen lineup. I've got one of them here. There's one that I haven't reviewed by Shot. The Zen lineup. It's one of my favorite lineups from Shot. The Zen lineup, again, price point wise, good price point. They're about $40 US. And they've got a really nice lineup there in regards to that. And some, like 2 of the barrels are 90% tungsten and 2 of the barrels are 80% tungsten. But Shot's got some really great entry darts as well. They've got some other darts that are in that 80% tungsten and even brass darts. The difference between the brass and the tungsten, really, if you're new to darts, is the wearability. Outside of the fact that tungsten is denser, so you can have a smaller dart and have more weight. Brass has a lot more space in the molecules, so it's a softer metal. You have to have a lot more metal to get the weight, and it being a softer metal, it does get damaged fairly easily. So you're going to wear down the grip if you're playing well with them and they're smacking into each other. And again, the other thing is that it's going to be a fatter dart, so you're going to have less space at the segment because you're going to have something blocking part of the segment. So hitting 180s with the fat brass darts is a feat. So if you're doing that on the regular, maybe changing over to a tungsten get you a tour card. I don't know. The orbs are cool looking. Thanks, Bullseye and Brewski. It's a great looking dart. It's just an 80% tungsten, so it's less tungsten. Gives you a little bit, I guess, less of a cost when making them. But I don't think there's a huge difference between the 80 and the 90%, to be very honest, between the barrels. If I grab this one, which is the Rob Cross, this is a, there we go, 90% tungsten barrel. Does have the Swiss point, but if it'll focus on these, look at these two barrels. They look pretty much the same. They're very, very close in design element. One's an 80%, one's a 90%. To be honest, the price point isn't too different between them. You know, it's maybe a $20 difference. You are getting the Swiss point, so there is an added bonus to the Rob Cross, which is a really nice looking barrel. So, checking comments here. Can shoes help how you shoot? And you won't wear a hat just because the bill of the hat every once in a while will catch my eye, causing me to lose my focus. I can understand that. I don't mind throwing with a hat personally. It doesn't. I can see right here, but it doesn't typically bother me. My old throw pattern style, I used to flick the hat with the flight, but I'm thinking from a marketing standpoint, man, wearing a hat, that's more real estate I can get advertising on and make more money. That's just my opinion. If I'm a brand, dude, I want my guys wearing hats as much as possible because I can slap my name and stuff on them. Speaking of which, this hat's available over at atomicdarts.com. Just saying, pick one up. And as far as shoes go, yes, point blank, yeah, your footwear can determine hugely how you do in a tournament. For multiple reasons, but one, comfort is incredibly important. Two, the ability to help that's your foundation. That's where it all starts. If you're rocking and swaying while you're at the Aki, your throw is going to be off consistently. Your footwear is incredibly important. I would love to play barefoot. I wish you could play barefoot. I would play barefoot. Yes, if you're Gerwin Price, you're probably going to have a bunch of darts in your feet. I still don't understand why he barely grips his darts, but whatever. That's a whole nother conversation. I like the ability to feel the ground personally. I'm barefoot right now. I'm standing here talking to you guys. I'm barefoot. I will spend the majority of the day barefoot. If I'm not in bare feet, it's flip-flops most of the time. Sometimes, I wear shoes for work. But anyway, today it'll be flip-flops, and why? Because I got to run out really quick, and then when I get home, back to the bare feet. And I play a lot of times bare feet. Anyway, shoes are extremely important. They need to be comfortable, especially if you're at a tournament. You're going to be there the entire day. But having nice shoes that give you the proper lift and feel within whatever your arch is. And guys, I understand a lot about shoes and feet and all that other stuff. In X was a professional triathlete, and she was really big into shoes and stuff. So I learned a lot about shoes. But there's a huge importance to that, especially playing darts. I really look for specific shoes for playing darts. If I have to wear them, which I do, of course. So I have specific shoes that I will wear for that. I have a rowing machine. I have a specific pair of shoes for my rowing machine. There are reasons for all of that. So that's a long diatribe, but there you go. I am really interested in talking to Noble and getting a pair of them and seeing what they're like. And if they're phenomenal, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to find a shoe. I'm going to make this happen. We're going to get a shoe that's a good dart shoe. What I liked about Noble is they had so many styles and options, and varying options for basically soles, which is the key thing. If your feet hurt when you're playing, go see a foot specialist that'll help you get a proper insole. It's hugely important to it. I could go on and on about that, but we'll leave it at that. So yes, that's the base of your throw. It is extremely important. And then, everything kind of builds off of that. So yes, Justin, they do and affect your entire body. This is correct. Can I do a Cameo Glover 2.5 review? Just got to get my hands on a set. I need to get back more into reviews, and this has been a question, so I'm going to get a little off here. As far as the news section of this, that was about the first half hour. This is the first day of me doing this. I think it went okay. Let me know what you guys think as far as the news section. We talked about the PDC, we talked about Jose de Sosa, the ladies, we talked about what's coming up on some of the additional items or places you can watch things like Darts Live, Championship Dart Circuit. We will get some stuff from the Bearded Dart Guy. And if you guys know anybody else that's streaming regularly darts matches, let me know and I'll reach out to them and have that conversation in regards to getting the information of what's up and coming and what matches have happened, and share that with you guys. So Bullseyes and Brewski, yes, the your ankles being supported, very, very important. That's why MVG will pull his socks up, because they'll start to fall down. He has that sideways stance, and it becomes uncomfortable. He's probably pushing against the Aki with the sock right up against on his foot. And that's probably one of the reasons he's pulling his sock up when he does that. But yeah, that can really work your ankle and your leg up at the hip, especially if you're sideways stance and you're leaning into that hip is going to kind of pop a little out. And so having the strength there is really important. And this is another thing that I think you're going to see happening with these younger guys. And and I've brought it up a couple of times, but I think that we're going to see the fitness situation start to change and adjust with the PDC and darts as a whole. You're always going to have us guys that are a little bit bigger, and the guys that it's not a matter of being an athletic situation, but I think you're going to see in the next 5 years, you're going to see that that's going to become something. The idea of maintaining a workout and certain aspects of as the game progresses and gets tighter and better, I think that's going to become something massively important. As sports science is looking at darts more, there are some articles out there. Dax, if you guys have watched Dax or followed Dax, he's got some, just look him up just on Facebook. He's got some really good aspects on that. And then Matt Edgar. If you guys didn't know this, Matt Edgar was a PE teacher, so physical ed teacher. Sports science. This is kind of it's his realm. It's really where he comes from. He is a professional darts player. He does do the YouTube channel thing, but the sports science and physical education thing is really his. That's what he does. That's what he went to school for. He'll talk a little bit about it. I know that he will work with players. I have actually thought about reaching out to him because I love just the learning aspect of those things, to see if I can get a couple of lessons with him. I'm not sure what they cost, but to learn and adjust a little bit on my throw. But he'll even talk a little bit about that. And I think diet is going to become something we see more in darts. So this just a tangent I got off on. Something I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm going to be giving away that gift certificate here shortly. Two things to note. One thing to note is that today, later today, like when we're done with this, I'm going to log into. I'm going to give you guys a code. Yes, Edgar TV is a great channel. I'm going to give you guys a code here. I'm going to put it in the chat. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to run over to the Atomic Darts website. I have some barrels that I've reviewed and some other barrels that have been given to me up on that website. They're priced relatively well right now. I'm going to add a 20% discount on top of what's already there. So I'm going to give you guys a code here in just a minute in the chat. Give it 10 minutes after I turn the stream off when we're done here, and I'll have that code entered into that system, and you guys can go. It'll be for the darts only. It'll only be available for the darts. It'll be good through this week, so through Friday midnight Pacific Standard Time. You get 20% off on any of the darts products there. I'll also be getting the New Jersey posted. If you guys haven't seen the New Jersey, this is what it looks like. So that is this quarter's jersey. Mine should be showing up any day now, so you'll start seeing me wearing this. But that is the New Jersey for this quarter. And Magicwear has been gracious enough to say, hey, let's keep all these jerseys available. People will be able to order one-offs. So this jersey, which was the inaugural jersey, it's currently up on the website. I can tell you that I'm going to pull it down for a bit, bring it back occasionally, because it is kind of the first one. Give it some specialness to it. But that jersey will be available throughout the year. And then all the other consistent jerseys will always be up and available if you want to go back and purchase one. So thank you to Magicwear for setting that up as well. So let me put this code in the chat. So guys, this is the code. When we're done here, you can get an additional 20% off any of the darts products that are up there during the week. We're going to do, let's do C. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to put this on the fly. All right, so here is the discount code. Okay. Blam. Just threw it in there. Discount code is CND20. CND20. So Coffee and Darts 20. Put that in today, tomorrow, whatever, through Friday. Again, give me a few minutes after I'm done here, and you'll get 20% off any of the darts products that are up there. So if you've been eyeing something, they're one-offs. It's one that I got today. I either did a review or one that I happen to have. Okay. We're going to be giving away that $50 gift certificate to Magicwear here in just a bit as well. There was something else I wanted to... Oh, this has been a question that has come up quite a bit. And I just want to talk briefly about it as I kind of land the plane, as I like to say. There have been a couple... If you didn't see my posts, this I'm going to get a little personal here. So this is a little bit off pace, but there's been some questions as to why I haven't been getting as many reviews out as I was. I've got a bunch in the can. Like there's items sitting here that I've reviewed, and of course the Nexus right here, which that one I just have to reshoot the ending. It like the camera cut off during my ending for a section of it, and then it came back. It was weird. So I have to reshoot that and then send my edits to my editor, and she'll clean it all up. And then I'm doing a comparison of the Nexus and the Grand Board to show the differences between the two. There's pros and cons for both of them. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff in the can that I need to do my edits on, and then my editor does the cleanup. But that's been a question. What website? The website is atomicdarts.com. You'll find the hats, you'll find jerseys, you'll find some darts products. I try and upload new product to that as I review them, or if someone sends me stuff and there's sometimes I get stuff and I'm like, I don't know that I'm going to review that or whatever. I'll throw it up there. So anyway, back to the review situation, because that's been a question I've gotten quite a bit lately. But basically, I have kids. That's a big part of it. And you'll see in the Nexus review, my kids, and just like the 180 Lite, I just said, forget it. I'm going to do these reviews, and the kids will be part of the reviews. They're going to interrupt me, and that's just going to be the deal, because I try and find time when they're not here, but we're home all the time now. So it becomes a little bit more difficult. The other thing, and some of you guys know this, is I had a job for a company, and I lost my job last Tuesday. Not that that's a bad thing, guys. In all respects, I've always had multiple streams of income. I was a home inspector for a number of years prior to taking this job. I took the job because the benefits were phenomenal. And my kids were going to be going to school, and I was going to be working from home, and I was going to have time to do reviews because I could take breaks from work. That was the whole reasoning for this whole thing. But anyway, I lost that job. They basically closed our office and took the office positions and took them to another office. They did that across the country. It's a smart business move for them, saved them a ton of money. They closed our office. They were spending, $80,000 a year on our office space, let alone, the people in it and all the equipment and everything. So a total smart business move on their part. I don't blame them. They took care of us as a severance package. But I've gone back to doing home inspections full time and doing real estate as a realtor, which is a new thing for me, and trying to do reviews and this stuff. So it's just adjusting my clock and when I can do things. So the reviews will start popping off a little bit more. Kids are actually going back to school next week for 2 days a week. But it's 2 days a week where I can schedule, a good 4-hour clip, and I can get 1 or 2 reviews done in that time frame. And so you'll start seeing more of the reviews coming. And these should get better as well, because I'll have more time to put into the production backside value of what it takes to put on a show like this and the interviews. So that's just a little clip there. I don't feel bad about losing the job. Again, it was a great business decision for the company. It hurt in a way because some of my stock hadn't vested. So I lost most of my stock options that I had when they let me go. That was the only thing that kind of irritated me. Outside of that, they took care of me from a financial standpoint with a severance package. And I just turned the hose back on for home inspections, and I'm slammed. Like, I'm super busy with that. So that's, that didn't hurt me in regards to that. So I know some people are like, hey, are you going to be okay? Totally okay. we're fine from that. I've always had more than one stream of income in the event that something falls apart. I could pick something else up. I recently got my real estate license, so I'm doing that a little on the side with the home inspection. So if the home inspection is, slow, I can just work that more. That's kind of how I do things. So anyway, there you go with that. I don't feel bad about losing the job in one respect, outside of the fact that benefits were phenomenal. So that's the only thing, is now I got to pay for my own benefits, but we'll make it work. So there you go, guys. All right, as I land this plane now, I just wanted to give you guys that because I've had a number of people ask about the reviews. Like, I think I'm putting out maybe one a week right now, and I was doing 2, 3, 4 a week. It'll come back. We'll be consistent doing 2 to 3 and then doing these. Later this week, either Thursday or Friday, is going to be an interview. I'm working out a couple of things. I'm talking with the guys over at American Darting Association, the guys at Loxley Darts, which is a new darts manufacturer. Of course, they're over in England or Europe, and we've got to schedule timings, and there's some other things going on there. So those are coming up. If I can't make either one of those work, I'm going to reach out to one or two of those that watch this show regularly and see if they can pop on in and we're going to sit back and talk darts. We're just going to do coffee and darts and just talk about darts in general. So there have been a couple of people that have asked to, could they be on the show? And we may just bring 2 of them on, or one of them. I don't know. That's going to be Thursday or Friday, so keep an eye out for that. But thank you on the congratulations for the realtor's license. Yeah, I was actually surprised I got it. To be very honest, it's a whole other story. But and I've got one property in escrow as of last Friday, and I've got a property that is a listing. So again, we're okay. We'll be good. If anybody's in the Southern California area and you're looking to buy or sell, give me a call, reach out. Be happy to help you. If you're crazy enough to move here and you looking for something, give me a call. Be happy to help. Anyway, there you go on that one. Hey guys, it's been a great show. Really appreciate it. You guys hanging in here. Oh wait, I got to give away the $50 gift certificate to Magicwear. As I get ready to do that, I want to thank Shot Darts for being a sponsor of the Coffee and Darts show. And I want to thank Magicwear, of course, for being a sponsor as well. And I'm going to thank Condor because they're coming on. I believe that's going to happen. So I'm putting it out there into the universe. One of those things, I guess. And thank Condor at the same time, which is a great, great product. All right. So let's give away a gift certificate, right? I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 30. Whoever gets that number correct or closest to it wins the $50. All right, guys, start throwing. Tony will be returning. There's a return visit, Lucas, for Tony coming back. Justin, give you a shout. All right, numbers are coming in. I got a number in my head. Whoever hits it or is the closest, unless I get a tie there, we'll see what we can do. Here we go. Winner, chicken dinner. Is this going to happen here? Oh, you guys are all picking a lot of the same numbers, man. You guys should know me a little bit better than now. No one's gotten it. Wow. Lucas, I know this game all too well. You guys are killing me. And it's none of your numbers. All right. There's a winner. Eric E. Dub Robinson. You are my winner because the number was 13. You are my winner. So you threw it out there first. So you are going to get that. So Eric, make sure you DM me. You're on Facebook, so I can find you there too. DM me. It's a $50 gift certificate to Magicwear. They do have some jerseys that are right in that $50 mark. If you're just looking for a basic jersey, if you want something customized, they'll be able to help you out with that. And that $50 will go a long way to getting a custom jersey by Magicwear. So Eric, go ahead and hit me up on that. With that said, thank you everyone for watching today's episode. Look for something happening Thursday or Friday. That should be fun and exciting. And of course, next week, we've got some fun and exciting guests already lined up to keep an eye out for that, and look forward to the news segment of Coffee and Darts next Tuesday morning. Thanks again for hanging out with me. I will see you guys out in the darting world and be chatting with you on the social medias. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.